Watching Orange is the New Black has made our class discuss things that we normally might not. One of those things is race. By watching Orange is the New Black, we have had to discuss the stereotypes that we see in the show and society as well. Also, we have had to talk about the separation of the races, even if we do not want to accept this separation that we see. Throughout this class, we have discussed about how the show and in real life races are stereotyped. Whether we as people believe these stereotypes, we know people who personally do. They are inevitable. In this show, and much like in society, the stereotypes are the ones most people have heard of. They go as such: Black people are lazy, poor, always in prison, and ghetto, which is not even an adjective. White people are snobby, superior than every other race, and are privileged. Hispanics are hard workers, but taking all of the jobs, illegal immigrants, and they have big families who fit in little cars. I am sure that we have all heard at least one of these sometime in our life. In the show, for the most part, these characters do fit the stereotypes. There are exceptions though. What all of these women have in common is that they are in prison, but even in prison they are stereotyped. With these stereotypes, tension can happen between these races. Something else that has been brought up in class is that people mostly divide themselves by their race. In Orange is the New Black, they are divided by their races to sleep, eat, and work. This division does not help the races mingle with one another. Relating back to stereotypes, the different groups create their own stereotypes of the other groups. This causes tension between the groups, ultimately growing hate and problems for one another. This is in society as well. There is hate between several races that was either taught to them growing up, something personal happened to them which caused the hate, or the media influenced them. Regardless, in the show and in real life, separation occurs. Orange is the New Black does an excellent job bringing up social issues in a way that makes it easy to watch and hopefully learn something from.
So my race is Black because I'm African American and Afro-Latina.
So what is it like being an Afro-Latina girl?
Yeah. It's definitely an interesting experience. Like navigating navigating Hispanic environments, especially because there's a lot of issues with Hispanic people and accepting that there are Black people within our own culture, but then at the same time, a lot of Hispanic people like Black culture but don't respect Black people, so then being Hispanic and also being Black and Hispanic is it's a challenge. It's fun.
Okay, so are there any advantages and disadvantages of it? I know you already said that,
yeah. Advantages? Yeah, no, I don't, not really. Not in the context of the U.S. at least. Disadvantages? People trying to fit you into a mold, especially because I'm Hispanic but I don't speak Spanish, and that's always one thing that people are like, oh, you're Black Hispanic and you don't speak Spanish, are you really Hispanic? And that gets into a lot of interesting conversations.
Okay, and then has society ever made you feel ashamed?
For Hispanic, not so much shame. Most of the time, there's a lot of people that fetishize Hispanic culture and Hispanic people, which I think is really weird, but whatever. What was the question again?
Have you ever felt ashamed? And if so, when and how?
Oh, ashamed of being Hispanic, definitely not. But ashamed of maybe when I was younger, ashamed of not fitting what Hispanic looks like to people, or especially not speaking Spanish too. I definitely felt ashamed when I was younger for that, but now I'm older and I don't care.
So how does society normally portray your race and gender in movies, TV, media?
So race, Black people in movies, that's always fun. So there's different archetypes that people play on. There's the slave, and then a whole bunch of white people call them a nigger in the movie. That's always a fun one. And then there's the very assimilated Black person in movies, which is also always interesting. And it's always they're always tokenized. It's always like they're one black person in a movie full of like nothing but white people, and like they're like the one black friend. And then, I mean, there have been some recent movies where they're like centered around black people, and those are my favorite.
Okay, so what is it like being a white girl?
It's not that hard. I mean, I still have to like work for things I want, but I don't face like, as much discrimination as other young
Has
ones.
society ever made you feel ashamed of your race?
Not necessarily. I kind of feel ashamed personally because of the way we act sometimes as white people, as a whole, collectively. But, I mean, society hasn't necessarily made me feel ashamed of being white.